Hi YouTubers, it is I, Hellgear. It's time for a Cuphead survey. Now I said a Cuphead survey and not the Cuphead survey, simply because this survey was done before there was ever mention of the delicious last course. And from what I've been told, there will be a survey post delicious last course, and I'll be taking both of them. In any case, the description of this video below has the questions to this Cuphead survey, which I will ask and answer live. I do this for 3 reasons. To share this amongst Cuphead communities, so that others who play Cuphead, especially if they're on YouTube, can try this survey out for themselves, and hopefully the next one when it shows up. Let me know in the comment section below if you do. And most importantly, to give Studio MDHR and the Moldenhauer brothers that much needed feedback. So, we answered these questions honestly without being too much of a jerk. First question, how did you hear about Cuphead? Oh man. So many years ago when this was showed off at an E3, I forget which year in the 2000s it was, but they showed it off and had the demo play of it and it looked like fun. I was like, yeah, I definitely want to get that. And then I found out that it was only going to be on the Xbox at the time, and that made me sad. Thank goodness that changed. Next question. Speaking of consoles, which console are you playing Cuphead on? When I first played Cuphead, it was at an anime convention on PC, but I have gone through and played Cuphead on my Nintendo Switch. Same question, who do you prefer playing with? I completed this game with Mugman. I like Mugman, I always have liked Mugman, and not too many people who play Cuphead actually play through the game as Mugman. Somebody's got to give him justice. He is the brother after all. Next question. What do you like and dislike the most about playing Cuphead? What I like the most about playing Cuphead is it puts all of your run and gun and like boss fighting skills with shooting to the test. You know, if you played stuff like Contra or Metal Slug, you know, games like that, or I forget the other one, it was on the Sega Genesis. You know, like, also if you played stuff like Vector Man, which is probably going to be on the Sega Genesis Mini, this should really go up your alley, and I think I've shamed my Contra playing skills with this too. What I dislike the most about this was, and I'll be real, the one thing I dislike the most is getting the P ranks in the running guns, because that is taxing. So many deaths occurred during that. Next question. What in your opinion are the 3 best shots in the game? Ooh, now that's a toughie. Best shots. I know number 2 is the charge shot. You know, that would be number 1 in some players' instances, but the charge shot is number 2. Number 3? What would be the 3rd best charge? What would be the 3rd best shot? Charge is number 2. I'm gonna give it to Roundabout. You know, Roundabout is a really cool shot. It can actually save you in a couple instances too. Best shot, I'm gonna give it to the Chaser. There's nothing like a good chaser. It's funny how all the weapons in the game are like liquor. Classic times. Next question. Ooh, 3 best charms. Okay, this is gonna spark some debate. Alright, so to me, the 3 best charms are number 3, Parry Sugar. That is just great. Parry Sugar is great. They nerfed the Parry Sugar with the April 2019 update, so you can't constantly ta, especially if you get that weird pink ball during the Room or Honey Bottoms fight. You have to constantly keep pressing it after the first hit. You're not constantly rolling into the parry. Number 2 is the +2 HP. Yeah, that's right. I took a lot of heat with this in my gaming crew, because they're saying that the 2 extra hit points is the best charm, and I disagree. Look, having a maximum of 5 hit points is fine, but remember, when you get the extra hit point charms, whether it's the +1 or +2, you get a damage nerf. But the best charm in the game, and as I told those guys, there's no debate on this, the best charm in the game is the Smoke Dash. You essentially need the Smoke Dash to get your P ranks until you can get like invincibility. And even if you do get invincibility and Smoke Dash are a really nice combo for trying to get P ranks. Next question. How far into Cuphead are you? As I said before when choosing the character, I have finished the main game. I am currently waiting for the delicious last course, which the Moldenhauers have said will be dropping sometime in 2020. Now, if for some reason Salt Baker finishes the full course of the meal around the end of the year, like the 3rd or 4th week of December, I wouldn't be mad. But right now I'm currently waiting for DLC. That's where I am right now. Next question. Excluding Aeroplane bosses, who in your opinion are the 3 hardest bosses besides the devil? Oh boy. Opening the salt. Salting open my wounds. Okay. 3 hardest bosses. No Airplane. Let's see. Number 3 would be Rumor Honey Bottoms. You know what makes that fight so difficult is, unlike most of your stages that you're used to, this is a vertical scrolling stage, and if you aren't careful, you'll fall off the stage and take damage. Number 2, and I gotta give it up to him simply because of what you have to go through. Number 2 would be King Dice. The main thing that makes King Dice hard is you essentially have to run the gauntlet, and more times than not, when you finally fight King Dice, you have 1 hit point left. So you have to either be super precise or make sure you really pimp out that invincibility, because you're gonna need it. But the hardest boss fight, besides the devil, I don't care what anybody says, it goes to Grim Matchstick. That dragon is a pain. I remember spending so long just trying to kill him. Well, not kill him, but take his soul. And he'd wear me down in the 2nd phase of the fight and finish me off during the final phase of the fight. Either I got hit by like a stray fireball because Roundabout breaks it up, or I just don't have the room to evade the flame throwing hit. But Grim Matchstick is the hardest boss besides the devil. And in some players' cases, Grim Matchstick is actually harder than the devil. Next question. Okay, 3 hardest aeroplane bosses. Wow. What is the number 3? I guess I'm gonna say the number 3 hardest boss, and I hope this counts, is the monkey in the King Dice's gauntlet. Because, you know, in addition to dodging him, you also have to parry cards and play like memory match. And depending on how good your memory is, you'll be on that a long time, simply because you keep hitting the wrong pairs. Second hardest aeroplane boss would be Calamaria. That is, you know, the first part of that fight isn't so bad. It's just the second part where she becomes a Medusa and her stone gaze fills up almost the entire screen except really up close by her. So you're like flicking the joystick to soften up, you know. Not like that, y'all. But to break free of the stone. To me, the hardest airplane boss is Dr. Call's robot. I remember so much how I struggled at this because I couldn't get through the first part of the boss fight due to the little pink thing that shoots out the laser wall out of the chest. And I figured out that I gotta take that out first. But the bullet hell at the end is worse than Wally Warbles' bullet hell. You know, Wally Warbles' bullet hell, you can just get small and then dodge the bullet hell of feathers, but Call's robots bullet hells, man, not only do you have to dodge fire, but you also have to dodge incoming walls. And that stuff is creepy. Next question. Besides the Root Pack, who in your opinion are the 3 easiest bosses? And we can count airplane bosses in this one. 3 easiest bosses other than the Root Pack. And the Root Pack is easy. Let's see. Who was an easy boss fight for me on Island 3? Nobody was an easy boss fight on Island 3. After a while, Werner Vermin was, but he's not like top 3 easiest. He's more like middle road boss. Let's see. Number 3 would be Wally Warbles. You know, that boss, all you have to really do is survive the bullet hell section before Junior pops out. If you can get through that without taking a hit, you can easily beat the cuckoo. Let's see. Number 2 would be Goopy LeGrand, actually. You know, Goopy LeGrand really doesn't do much damage. You know, he's not the easiest. He's not the second easiest boss fight. Don't get that twisted. He's not the number 2. He's the 3rd easiest boss for a reason. Mainly because he doesn't really start getting hard until he gets big. You know, that's when things start to get interesting, because he becomes harder to anticipate dodge, even with Smoke Dash, because you'll Smoke Dash, but you'll take damage after it because you've misjudged the timing after he lands because he's so big. Second easiest boss for me would be, what is his name? It's the flower. Cagney Carnation, that's what it is. And that is super cheesy music against Cagney Carnation too. But he's like the second easiest boss, other than the Root Pack. Next question. Rank the supers from worst to best and explain why you rank this way. Okay, worst super is the unification one. It's the third one that you get from Mausoleum 3. In all honesty, that is the worst super. It would be better if using that super didn't cost 1 HP. You know, that's something that a lot of people miss when they use that. Even though you're uniting with your soul to deal damage, it actually takes 1 HP. And what you have to do is, once the super is over, you have to make sure that you jump up and parry that so you can get your hit point back. Number 2 is the beam, you know, or as I like to call it, Hadou Head. The energy beam is rightfully so at number 2, simply because invincibility is always going to beat a super concentrated forward blast. You know, don't get me wrong, invincibility is cool firing the blast, but well, the energy beam is cool firing the blast, but invincibility can actually, if you time it right, can save you from a death. You know, there have been moments where I catch myself at the bottom of the screen just before taking damage from falling into a pit, or during Rumor Honeybottom's boss fight, where I just pop that just before taking damage. And it's like, okay, I'm not dead. Or, most importantly, when you're trying to perfect the boss, you can use the Rumor Honeybottom's invincibility on their final stage and boom, prevent taking a hit. Next question. Do you have all of Cuphead's achievements? I do not have all of Cuphead's achievements, actually. Next question. Wow, I guess that is the question. Okay, cool. What are, in your opinion, are the 3 hardest achievements in Cuphead? I don't have all of the achievements in Cuphead, so I'm going to simply guess on these. Third hardest achievement in Cuphead is actually a tie between 2 particular ones. And the 2 that tie for third are getting all of the pacifists, because I bet there's an achievement rewarded for getting all the P ranks in the running gun, especially since it opens up 1930s mode, where you play in black and white. And P ranks are tough by design. But it also ties for third with the bouncing ball achievement. Now, to those of you who don't know, bouncing ball is you have to make 5 parries before you touch the ground. And there are a couple of places where you can do this. I forget all of them exactly, but the 2 that stick out, one is the fun house, and if I had missed the timing on the air dash, I would have had the bouncing ball there. But where I did get the bouncing ball is Mausoleum 3. You know, the ghosts in Mausoleum 3 come out perfectly timed, so if you do it right, you actually can hit 5 of them before touching the ground. And if you didn't get the bouncing ball before taking out Mausoleum 3, which in my opinion is the easiest, yeah, good luck. But you can probably find out like a key of where to get the bouncing ball achievement on YouTube. That leaves us to number 1. And I'm just going to be real with you. It's probably going to be the achievement you get for getting an all S rank. And the reason I say that is because on normal mode, the highest you can get is A+. You actually have to play the game's hard mode or expert mode to get that. And in order to get S mode, you have to be perfect. No damage, get all the coins, get all the parries. Well, get all the coins if, you know, they apply. Get all the parries down pat. You know, that all S rank is always going to be hard no matter what game you play. Now, an honorable mention to that is beating the devil without taking a hit. Now, I'll be honest with you, I actually did get the achievement for taking out King Dice without getting hit. And man, was I shocked when that happened. So if you play like the difficulty on easy, you probably could beat the devil without getting hit. Next question. Do you know about Cuphead's alternate ending? Yes, I do know about Cuphead's alternate ending. I also know there's an achievement involved in getting the alternate ending. Same question, have you obtained it? Nope. Why or why not? Look, I'm gonna be real, even if I sound like a jerk when I say this, but I'm gonna be real to everybody. The alternate ending is the one achievement in the game that players should never have. Even if you've already completed the game, or even if you've beaten the devil and gotten the all S rank, the alternate ending is the one achievement you should never obtain. Simply for one reason. I'm not the devil's yes man. All the hell that you go through as a player playing Cuphead, including all the deaths that you incur while facing off against the devil, you as a player are allowed to give the devil 3 things, especially when games that are made specifically not only to be hard and boss fights where you're supposed to lose and cry to mommy, especially if you're like 7 years old. Well, and I'm an old school gamer when I say this, the devil only gets 3 things: disappointment, sore balls, and most importantly, the middle finger. We are not the devil's yes man. And at least my generation of gamers were never the yes man of the devil. And I expect future gaming generations to not be the yes man of the devil anyway. He can take a middle finger for all I care. And not just one either, both of them. Next question. Who is your favorite character in Cuphead and why? Actually, my favorite character in Cuphead is King Dice. You know, I like his swagger, especially his theme song. The theme song of King Dice, which Don't Mess with King Dice, I like that beat. It just, if you try to sing that at karaoke, the 2 verses that it has kind of feels open. It needs like a 3rd verse. But it's a fun song though. Plus, dude is like 6 feet tall, so he's got swag. Next question. What do you think of Cuphead's score? Now, just to clear this up to all the 10-year-olds playing Cuphead, because it's an E10 game, what they mean by score is the game's musical soundtrack. And frankly, the music in Cuphead is great. Even if it is like jazz instrumental, it just sucks that the soundtrack is $40. You know, sure, some will complain that it should be put on CD and not vinyl records, but $40, man, for vinyl, it might be cool because we live in an age of CDs and SoundCloud. But man. Next question. What is your total number of deaths after beating the devil? Oh my goodness, I had to look through my Cuphead playthrough. And after I beat the devil, my total death count was 338. I don't know if that's a record I should be proud of or not, but I got my hat handed to me a lot in the first part of Cuphead. And that score is probably going to double by the time I clear the delicious last course. Next question. Would you recommend Cuphead to other gamers? I already have. You know, it's $20. Come on. You look at games today where you're paying $60 and you're only paying a third of the price. Plus, it's not a walk in the park game either. It'll challenge you. So it's worth its $20 and all the rage it might induce into you as well. Next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Cuphead? I give Cuphead an 8.5. And of course, they want to know why you gave it the rating. I'll be real with you. The game is good. The game is also hard, but it is a necessary hard. It has to be hard. You know, we don't want pushover games. You know, this generation needs those games that irritate and frustrate the living and dying hell out of them. You know, the hard in Cuphead is a necessary evil and something that gamers, even of this generation and the next, need to experience. They need to experience pain when playing video games. Oh, I sound like a jerk when I said that. Speaking of being hard, the next question, is Cuphead too hard? No, it is not too hard, but it is hard. You know, like I just said, it's a necessary evil. It has to be hard by design. And the fact that with the April update for 2019, they changed the boss enemies attack patterns, just spiced it up even more. And it was lovely, actually. Final question. Would you buy Cuphead merchandise? Not at this time. So no, really. And if not, explain why. Look. There are two different Cuphead stores where you can get merchandise. There's an official Cuphead store, and then there's one for the Cuphead cartoon series coming up on Netflix. And the official store for the game, some of this merchandise is all right on price, but what I really want to get costs too much, you know. The shirts are cool. These are decently priced because I'm looking at their actual main clothing shop, but the sweater, the long sleeve, and the hoodie, for paying $50, more than $50 for those, you can forget it. You know, the Cuphead Forever long sleeve sweater, this looks like a sweater. It's $50 and a quarter, and I'm not paying that much for this. Even if the guys at who run the store say that it's worth the price for limited edition gear, no, it's not. There is nothing that will say, even if it is limited edition, that I'm paying $51.36 for the Cuphead hoodie. Not happening. Also, we need more Cuphead characters on the merchandise for like the shirts and the stuff. You know, having Cuphead and Mugman is fine, but like, give me more characters on there. You know, put Chalice on some of this stuff that you can sell in the shop. Throw some designs of like Hildeberg and Calla Maria dancing like I saw on this one person's GIF, you know. Get a shot of pork rind. Needs a little bit more variety. Now the $15 mug, that's a nice get. But in any case, folks, that is the first of our Cuphead surveys. Try the survey out for yourself. Compare your answers with mine. But for now, I take my goose from the oven because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.